Hi, this is Dr. Therese with Healthy Choice Family Chiropractic, and today I'm going to show you some different stretches for your hip flexors. Sometimes you'll hear of this muscle called a hip flexor. It's also called your iliopsoas muscle. It's a muscle that goes from your lumbar vertebrae on the side, and then it's going to come forward, and it's going to end up attaching to your hip. So this muscle will tighten up on anyone who is like a runner, someone who does stairs a lot, also anyone who sits a lot, because it will tighten up anytime there is more of a consistent contraction or more when the knee is bent and the leg is up. When this is held consistently, whether or done repetitively, whether with running, stairs, sitting, it will all cause that muscle to contract and it'll cause tightness. When that muscle is tight, it will literally pull you forward. That is why it will add an increased pressure and stress to your low back, to your lumbar vertebrae, and then as a result, it's going to irritate those nerves. Also, that muscle can end up causing some deep hip pain, or if you're doing stretches, and it's a stretch where even though your leg is up, it still causes a pull through the front of your hip, almost like your groin area. That's actually because your hip flexor is too tight. So we're going to go over 3 different ways to stretch this muscle. The first way that I'm going to show you how to stretch it, this one's going to be the least deep of the stretches. For this one, you're actually going to lay on your back. I recommend doing this more like on your bed. So you'll lay on your back. You're going to lay towards the edge, so you want to make sure that you're holding on, and you're going to let your hip, so your leg, fall to the side. Okay, for this one, since my right leg is down, it would be stretching my right hip flexor. Okay, you should feel a light pull or a stretch through the front of your hip, okay, and the front of your leg. You'll want to hold the stretch for 15 to 30 seconds. Then you'll bring your leg back up. You'll do the same thing by going to the other side. You'll let your leg hang over the edge. You'll get that stretch right to the front. Once again, hold for 15 to 30 seconds, and then you will bring your leg back up. So for that stretch, you're gonna wanna do both sides twice. I recommend doing that 2 to 3 times a day. And actually for every way that we show you how to stretch the hip flexor muscle, you're going to want to hold it for 15 to 30 seconds and do that both sides 2 to 3 times a day. So that's one way to stretch it. The second way that I'm going to show you how to stretch it, this one is going to be more in like an exaggerated lunge position. So you're going to get into a nice, big, deep lunge. Okay? Now with that, you want to make sure that your legs are staggered. So what I mean by that is you do not want them to be right in front of you. You don't want to feel like you're on a tightrope. Okay? You want to make sure that your legs are about hip width apart. Okay? I'm actually going to scoot over just so you can see me a little bit more. So you're going to be in that exaggerated lunge position. Okay? You're going to bend your front knee and just give a very slight bend in the back knee. You should feel a nice deep stretch on that back leg. Now, if you feel any pinching or pulling through your lower back, then you're gonna want to just hinge from your waist slightly until you no longer feel that pull. Then you'll probably have to bend deeper with that front knee to get that stretch back, okay? But that will help to stretch the hip flexor. The reason why you do not want to feel that pinch or pull in your lower back, that actually means that then you're adding some additional stress to your lumbar vertebrae or those bones in your lower back. We always make sure that we're getting weight and preventing that, okay? Another way that you can stretch it, just if that's a little too much balance or too much of a strain on your balance, another way that you can stretch it, just this one is not good for someone who has knee problems. For this one, you're gonna be stretching the leg that's down. You're gonna once again get into that exaggerated lunge position. You're just gonna bend your front knee. Okay, once again, if you do feel a pinching or pull in your lower back, you'll hinge from your waist and then bend that front knee just slightly deeper so that you can get that nice deep stretch through that back leg. Okay. The other thing you're gonna wanna make sure is that your front knee never goes over your toes. If it does, you're gonna be putting too much stress on that front knee. Okay, so those are 3 different ways to stretch your hip flexor muscle, but it's a great stretch that can just help to alleviate even more
of low back pain issues or hip issues. If you do have any questions about that stretch, or you're wondering if this is a good stretch for you to do, you can contact me here at the office at 616-426-8500, or you can shoot me an email at info@healthychoicefamilychiropractic.com.